Summer's over. I haven't really done much. What can I say? I'm a slacker. Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome to a little bit of an update vlog. I'm going to cover a number of things here, and I'm going to try and do it as quickly and concisely as possible. Mostly because there's a little bit to go over. I don't know how much people care about certain details that have been going on with me. I really haven't done much for YouTube this summer. I really didn't. Some of it was because of my continuing circumstances, the way things have been and all that. And some of it has been, I've been frustrated by it. Not by YouTube itself or lack of subscribers or views. I really have never cared about that. That's never been my aim. I'm not doing this to become some famous YouTube celebrity. I was more frustrated by my machine. It got to the point to where I didn't even want to record gameplay because it just wasn't working. Especially if, I'm trying to make a series called Island Survival in Minecraft and I can't even record it because the video is flickering. There's a flicker every like 15 to 20 seconds, and it's because of how AMD handles OpenGL with their video drivers. And efforts to find out if AMD was going to ever, maybe work with DxTory on a possible fix went nowhere. Basically, AMD says talk to DxTory. DxTory doesn't respond, so you're pretty much stuck if you have an AMD driver and you're trying to use DxTory to record. If you're stuck with, let me rephrase that. If you have an AMD video card and you're trying to record with DxTory. Now, if you have an Elgato that you can either do externally, or if you have a desktop and internal, that doesn't really matter. But if you're trying to use DxTory, it's just not happening. It flickers. It doesn't record very well, and it's not a good time. So got frustrated with that. Didn't want to do it anymore. The other thing that happened is I went to play Star Wars Battlefront with John of All Games and a bunch of other people, and I had turned the settings all the way down to low just to make the game run. And even then, it was 25, 30 frames per second. It was just not going well. It was really hard to record, and it just didn't work. And I got frustrated by that as well. So it kind of became my HP Envy had served me well for about a year and a half. And then I realized these games are advancing too far. I think, in fact, the AMD's GPU, an 8750M, was actually a DDR3 type of memory. So not only is it 2 gigs of memory, but it's an older style of memory. Just couldn't keep up with the newer games. I just decided I wasn't even going to try. I mean, I could play Rocket League relatively well. Some of the other games were playing fine. When you want to record, you get frustrated. Other things too, I'm facing, at some point, things are going to change. I'm not going to see my daughter as much, and I want to spend as much time with her as possible. So I run around, I play with her, and then I'm tired at the end of the day. And also, this thing, Fitbit Blaze, continues to push me to get my steps in. So instead of sitting down at a computer for 2 hours when she goes to bed at 10 or 11, I go and walk around the apartment. Or if I'm not home alone, I go outside for an actual walk. And so I haven't really taken advantage of the time, but weekends, right now, I'm here alone with her. So when she's sleeping, because she sleeps through the night, I might as well do something now, right? There's something else I want to say, I want to talk about, but it's not really official, so I'm going to not acknowledge that it's happening. But look for me to announce sometime soon something that I've had an opportunity to take part of, and it's nothing significant. It's not like I'm going to get paid a lot of money to do what I'm going to be doing, but it's something that could open a few doors for me in tech and gaming, particularly in the media aspect of it. So we'll see where that goes, if it even goes anywhere. I'm right now just helping publish PR releases, so I'm not really doing anything particularly important, but my name is showing up on this website in print, so it's pretty cool to see. So look for an announcement on that at some point in the near future. So I'm going to be reaching a point here soon where I'm not going to have her during the week. I'm going to be by myself. I'm either going to be in this apartment by myself, or in a few months, if things work out a certain way, I will be moving out of it and finding a new place to call my own. Either way, couple that with my schedule change at work, which I am going to be going Monday through Thursday, 8:30 to 6:30. I'm going to have time, once I am on my own, in most evenings to work on stuff. And then that's the anticipation. I am anticipating having a little bit of time to sit down and play a game at 7:30, 8 o'clock, and go for a couple of hours and not be 2 in the morning. I anticipate having time to write for this publication company. I anticipate just being able to do more. But we've got to get there first. It's been an interesting summer, though. The continuing saga of my sky slider roof has also contributed to my not wanting to really get too involved in extracurricular stuff. I've kind of been frustrated by that. So I want to touch on that a little bit too. Basically, I did a video a few months back about how it broke and I was looking to come up with a temporary fix. Well, I'm going to put a couple of pictures up showing what my fix is right now. It's Gorilla Tape and Flex Seal. And I had to go that route because it started leaking. And if I didn't fix that leak, I was going to, every time we had a rainstorm, I was going to have an inch or two of water on the driver's side floor. It became a huge problem. The tape had held for a while, but it wasn't going to hold forever. Gorilla Tape is really good stuff, but there were seams that ended up developing, and the water was getting in, and it was just pouring into that side of the car, apparently. So I flex sealed it, and it hasn't leaked since. The bummer to it, though, I owe about $7,000, $8,000 on the car. It's worth, at fair trade, a little over $4,000. So I'm already -3 at this point. So if I had any thoughts of trading this thing in, I've got to overcome that. Then you add into the fact that they actually hold you accountable for this. This has been a problem reported by a number of people, this sky slider. It's been breaking on a number of vehicles. Some people, it's completely flown off their car while they were driving. It's on the Jeep Liberties, the most recent models. Mine's an 08, and I think they stopped making them a couple of years ago. So up until that point, they had it as an option. And there were reports of people who would be driving down the highway and this thing would just go flying off into the background and potentially cause accidents. It's a design flaw. It's a bad design. It's something that Jeep should have fixed years ago but didn't. And now if it breaks, whether it's something you did to it or it's just, well, you opened it one day and you went to close it and you hear a cable snap, they're holding you to that. It's $2,000 to $3,000, and that takes that off that trade. So now my $4,400 trade is down to $1,500, $2,000 maybe. What I'm saying is I don't expect them to make up $5,000 for me. That's not what I would be expecting. But what I would hope is that Jeep would look at this and say, hey, you know what, this was a bad design. We shouldn't have done it this way. Let's cut people a little bit of a break. But that's not what happened. And right now, I just have to figure out a way to deal with it. The car itself runs fine. It's just a cosmetic thing, really, is what it is. My most recent inquiry was to a Jeep dealership is what told me this. So not going to be getting a new vehicle anytime soon. Right now, my objective is to fix my credit so I can get a house, hopefully in the spring. That would be the ultimate goal. I do have a GoFundMe up. I'm going to link to it, but nobody's contributing to it, so if there's nothing in there in the next couple of months, I'm just going to shut it down. There's no point in running a GoFundMe to help me get a house, to help give Kylie more room to play, if people aren't going to support it. To that, I say I don't expect people to support it. I don't expect people to do anything for me. My business of getting a house is something I have to take care of. It's not up to other people to do it for me. So I certainly have never expected that to be the case. So I've covered my frustrations, the sky slider, the GoFundMe. Most recently, though, the HP Envy has served me well. But if you follow me on Twitter or on any social media site, you've noticed I've mentioned something that's different, something that's new, and it's sitting in front of me. It's the Acer Aspire V15 Nitro Black Edition laptop. I found it on eBay for about $600. It's an i7 4720HQ, 16 gigs of memory, 256 solid state drive, 1 terabyte mechanical drive. That's actually my old hard drive in here since it's 7200 RPM. And it is packing a GTX 960M 4GB edition. It's not top of the line by any stretch. 970 would have been a lot better. A 980 would have been golden. And then of course the 10 series has just come out. But it's going to do the job. A quick test in Minecraft at 1080 60 FPS was perfect. No issues whatsoever. Pretty much stayed around 60 FPS. It dipped about 50 at times, but that's Minecraft just being Minecraft. The chunk loading just does that game in. Brief test with Ori, 1080 60 FPS, no issue. I'm going to test some other games out. If I can't do them at 60 FPS, I'd still like to do them at 30. I'm not going to worry too much about that detail. It's just I want to be able to play my games better. I don't need to have ultra settings right now. The goal for ultra will be when I build a desktop. I'm going to put something good in it. The 980 Ti's are dropping like rocks because of the 10 series. 1070s are relatively affordable. It would certainly do the job. So that's for another day. You know, one of these days I'll be able to say I have a desktop, I'm doing this at full HD, at ultra settings, 60 frames per second, recording like a champ. That's going to be someday in the future. For now, 1080 is perfect. It's great. I would just like to be able to do it. And so I have everything mostly set up here. Premiere is on here, After Effects, Photoshop. I didn't put Sound Booth back on yet. And I don't know if I'm going to need to because this laptop is a much quieter than the Envy. I don't know if I've heard this laptop at load yet, if it's going to be any louder at any point. Either way, I played Minecraft extensively last night, actually. It was last night, and it did not ever kick into high gear and go ballistic. And the Envy, even if I just had Chrome open, was just cranking out the fan noise. So that's already a big improvement. In fact, I'm looking at it, it's open, it's thinking about things, and it's not making a ton of noise. So that's going to be a big difference in my editing time because I'm not going to be spending 15 minutes trying to remove noise before I actually throw it into Premiere Pro. I'm just going to be able to throw it into Premiere. And Premiere is much faster on this computer, obviously because of the processor and the GPU that is in tandem with the processor. The 5-minute video that I put up on YouTube earlier today took 5 minutes to render. 1080 60 FPS. I didn't change any of the bitrate, so it was at the higher settings that I didn't need to use. Handbrake was the same deal. Didn't take long to compress the file. So I'm really pleased about that. That makes me think that this is going to work out much better. So I'm not going to be looking at 3-hour render times for my 1080 videos, which is one of the things I was worried about. This thing is already paying some dividends. I'm hoping that it continues to do. Now, I know somebody out there is going, you just mentioned a GoFundMe, but you just dropped $600 on a laptop. I know, but I can explain that. You see, I have this Dell laptop that I basically was given, and it's pretty new. It's only been used for about 10 minutes total, and it's worth $550. I don't think I'm going to get $550 for it on eBay because there are people selling the exact same model brand new, like unpackaged, for $450, $460. I'm really undercutting the price. So I don't really know exactly how I'm going to list it yet, but I am going to list it. If I get $500 for it, then I've covered almost all of the cost of the Aspire, which makes it a huge win because I've only spent $100 on it. So I can't really complain about that. Other things that have gone on, since I'm not really worried about render time with this at this point. It's much easier to edit footage on this laptop than it was on the Envy. My credit limit increased. I have a much higher credit limit that came out of nowhere. I did inquire about getting a mortgage to buy a house, and I know exactly what I have to do. And really, that was what the car dealership and the house were all about. Information, really. What do I need to do to get myself into these things? Basically, I know what I need to do. I need to get rid of a couple of things off my report and get my credit utilization down, and it should boost my score. I need to get it to about 640-ish, 650-ish, and I should be able to get a loan for a mortgage, at which point I will be so extremely ecstatic. That's what I want. I want a room so that I could sit down and record on and be able to talk about things. Now, I'm hoping to do some more vlogs more regularly. Like I said, I usually have a couple of days a week right now. Like right now, it's what time is it? It's 11:40 at night, and my kid's been asleep for 2 hours, and she's not waking up. She hasn't gotten up. It's been almost 20 minutes now, and so I've got a great actual spot right here for this little tripod to put my camera up on and record. I've got the screen behind me, so if I feel like, you know, kind of making it go away, I can. There's a lot of stuff that I can do, and I should do it, and I should get back into it, and I should stop worrying about things that I can't control. So I think that's going to do it. I don't really think I have anything else I want to talk about, I want to discuss. I know vlogs aren't always the most exciting. I'm not going around doing grand things like some people are. I'm not talking about the latest piece of computer equipment. I'm hoping to have more to talk about in the future. I'm really excited about where things are going, though, with technology, with games, with all kinds of stuff. I'm going to be working soon on an article, my transition from console to PC. Probably when that drops is when I will make it an official announcement about, you know, who I'm going to be contributing to. And I'm really hoping that, you know, I have that to talk about, and, you know, the latest in all the tech news that's been coming out, and, you know, these phones that are coming out, the 10 series GPUs that NVIDIA dropped. AMD's talking about their Zen architecture for their processors. Intel Kaby Lake is being discussed. So there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of things I'd like to get involved in, and I want to pay a little more attention to this instead of just kind of sitting around doing nothing in my evenings when the time comes. So a lot of things still going on. A lot of things still need to happen, but I think we're a step closer. The schedule changing is going to be nice. I'm not going to be working late anymore. It's especially going to be nice when I'm on my own and I'm not sitting here trying to corral and maintain this entire just place. It's just, I can't even describe it. So hopefully that kind of stuff happens soon. In the meantime, I'm going to cut this. I don't want 30-minute vlogs on my channel, and we are already too close to 20 minutes for my liking. I'll probably trim some of it off. It's pretty easy to cut this now. But yeah, if I get stuff to look at, I'm going to go ahead and look at them. I don't think I'm going to actually film anything about the Aspire. If you just Google it, you'll see what it looks like. It's pretty simple. The only thing I will say that I don't like about the Aspire right now, it's a pain in the ass to upgrade. You literally have to unscrew the back, disconnect, you know, pry the keyboard up portion up, and very carefully maneuver your way. You can disconnect all the cables, but you better make sure you know where they went, just to change out things in here. I don't really care for that. I like it when you can just open up a bay in the back and just kind of fiddle with it like many of them do. But I'm not going to complain. It's silent. It runs my games. It runs Photoshop, or not Photoshop. I haven't tried Photoshop. It runs Premiere exceptionally quick. And I see what people are talking about when they say SSDs. When you get them, you never want to go to anything differently. The boot up time, it is like I hit restart and it's restarted. It's like, what? How did it do that? So really impressed by that. So I've cut a couple of the Aspire that's right in front of me here with the BenQ that I'm looking at right now over there, and it's a pretty good combination. I like it. So that's going to do it for this episode, this vlog. This is number 18, I think. I'm going to try and start cranking them out a little bit more. Like I said, I got a really good spot for the camera right here if I want to use it. One last thing. I had ordered a Cooler Master CM Storm SF17 from Newegg, the Newegg eBay store, and it came, but there's a dial on the side that I think controls the fan, turns it on and off and everything. The dial wasn't there. And then when I shook it, I could hear it rattling. And then all of a sudden, I could see it inside of there. It came broken, although I will say Newegg, once I started complaining on social media, responded very quickly and sent me an RMA. I just got to go ahead and do that and get that sent back to them and have them send me another one. I don't know that it's really actually necessary, but this thing is generating a little bit of heat here, so if it cools it off a little bit when I'm not recording, then that's perfectly fine with me. In the meantime, thanks for sticking through this with me. I know I haven't done much. I've been very quiet. I'm actually going to go and record some Minecraft. I have scrapped the footage that I did start with Ori and the Blind Forest Definitive Edition because I am going to transition it from 720 60 to 1080 60, and that's something I'm looking forward to doing. Gonna transition it, and I'm gonna start re-recording it soon. I've beaten the original version. I know now about the new areas in the definitive edition, so it should be a pretty smooth ride, other than the fact that I still will probably die about 632 times because the game is brutally hard. So on that note, I'm gonna say adios. I will see you next time. I might try to record some stuff this weekend with Kylie because we still have a long way to go. Tomorrow is Sunday. Monday is Labor Day. I go back on Tuesday and only work 3 days because of my new schedule. So looking forward to all of this. It's going to be nice having that extra day off, even if at this point in time I'm not, living by myself. Working on that still, though. It's not me. It's not me. Try explaining that on a dating site, by the way. Just try. Yeah, you live with my ex. No, I'm not living off of her. Never mind. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. I will see you all next time. Thanks for watching.